Yes, that is correct. We actually finally did it, guys. I managed to feature Ronnie Coleman on the 2023 Mr. Olympia stage, but this time in video footage. We usually create this type of videos with still pictures, which is still awesome and unique. However, this time we took things to a whole new level. Guys, this marks the beginning of something new as I've unlocked this type of video content. Make sure to like the video and of course subscribe as I'm aiming to reach 30,000 subscribers. So our video features 2003 Mr. Olympia Ronnie Coleman on the 2023 Mr. Olympia stage in the first call out, comparing him to the top bodybuilders of today. Despite this being Ronnie's most dominant version, things might not be as easy for him. Standards have changed and he may find himself in trouble from certain points of view. Let's dive in. Front double biceps. Keep in mind that for this video to be possible, I had to crop out Ronnie, stabilize the moving camera from the 2023 footage, synchronize Ronnie with the others, and scale Ronnie accordingly. Scaling might actually be the most challenging aspect, so take this video with a grain of salt. Ronnie is somewhat as tall as Samson and shorter than Andrew, but due to his straight leg stance, Ronnie may sometimes appear taller than expected. Also, I placed him at the side of this callout because trying to position him in the middle is virtually impossible here, but hey, never say never on this channel. Back to the pose now. Ronnie's issue, especially in this era, would be the midsection. All the other guys have either a vacuum or defined abs, while Ronnie, despite his defined abs, has an unesthetic and sloppy midsection. He doesn't always hold it in check. This aspect is much more obvious when we look at footage instead of pictures, but other than that, he is the most conditioned guy on stage, while also being the fullest. His biceps may be smaller than mostly all of the others, but he's the only one with peaky defined vascular guns, so no match for the others. I believe any judge from any era would overlook the midsection when everything else is as dominant, so I believe Ronnie would easily win this pose against anyone here. Front lat spread. Aside from the other guys, Ronnie chooses a straight leg stance in this pose, making him appear taller than expected. This pose is not as dominant as the previous one, and this becomes more obvious when we look at video footage instead of pictures. Ronnie was not the widest shoulder to shoulder, and we can see that when he's next to Andrew Jacked here. Also, that midsection becomes even more of an issue now. It's true, he's the most muscular guy on this stage, his lats are the best in this entire lineup, but being totally fair, taking into account the execution, the midsection and everything, I think he could lose this pose to guys like Andrew, Samson or even Hadi here. Now, for all the Coremanites in the comment section, I said that he could, not that he would. It's interesting to see Ronnie vulnerable in a pose where everyone considers him invincible. Next is the side chest pose, and this is a pose where Ronnie won't be having too much trouble. He's got the best chest, shoulders, arms combination, he's got the paper thin skin, the conditioning, the fullness, and his presentation is on point. This is a knockout display from the GOAT. Back double biceps, and nobody aside from Derek can even dream to be on the same level as Ronnie in this pose. Now, speaking of Derek versus Ronnie, I think most of you guys underestimate Derek in this pose. Yes, Derek doesn't have the arms and shoulders to compete, but he's much wider than Ronnie proportionate to his height. He has a better taper, and his back is more proportional than Ronnie's. In the lower body, Derek has the glutes and hams to not be dominated by Ronnie's notorious glute ham development, and none of them nails the calves where Ronnie is indeed a bit superior. Ronnie ultimately wins the pose, but Derek is right there, very close, closer than expected. In the other back pose, the back lat spread, Ronnie turns the lights off on all of these guys, including Derek. Derek's lat spread is inferior to his back double in my opinion. Hadi becomes more of a danger, but none of them can do battle with Big King Ronnie Coleman, so let's proceed to the next pose. Don't forget to get this video to 1000 likes to see Rubiel, Nick Walker and others on this stage. Also subscribe to help me reach 30,000 subscribers. Side triceps, and this is one of the two weaker poses for Ronnie, and we can see why. His lateral head of the triceps is inferior to all of these guys, and you can tell Ronnie doesn't enjoy this pose by the way he's hitting it. It's like he doesn't even try to compensate with good execution here. It's true that Ronnie is conditioned and in shape, but I think he could be considered last in this pose. The abs and thighs pose is the other weaker pose for Ronnie due to his unaesthetic abs and sloppy midsection, but on the other hand, he's got the best thighs in this lineup. I think he beats Hunter, Brandon and Samson in this pose. I also believe there's a case for him to beat Derek here, so the only two guys that beat Ronnie in this pose are Hadi and Andrew. In the most muscular pose, Ronnie comes back strong after his two weaker poses. This is total domination from the king. Aside from Samson and Brandon, who have the roundness, the other guys have no chance against the king. But Samson and Brandon don't have the details and thin skin Ronnie presents here, so this is Ronnie Coleman again. In conclusion, as usual, prime Ronnie Coleman loses his two weaker poses, the side triceps and the abs and thighs, also different from the still pictures. In video footage here we can see that he struggles in the front lat spread, and he gets pushed to the max by Derek in the back double. Now of course Ronnie Coleman still wins the comparison, but we can see that even though many of you often forget it, he was still human and could still be pushed and challenged in bodybuilding comparisons. Don't forget to get this video to 1000 likes if you want to see other bodybuilders on the 2023 Olympia stage in video footage. Also help me reach out 30,000 subscribers sooner by hitting the subscribe button if you haven't done it yet.